Hey guys, we're back. I accidentally cut that other video off, but I got another one just landed her. Him, this looks like a male actually. He's probably about the same size, 15 or 16. Beautiful color. I caught that on that same black and silver rooster tail. He kind of swallowed her down in a little bit, and to get the forceps out. But as you can see that brown piece to the right, that is a crayfish he is feeding on. So that's what they're feeding on. Like I said, we'll get him back, give him a kiss, and we'll send him on his way. But like I said, there's another one, about 15, 16. Thanks for the catch. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'll upload that other video separate from this one since I cut it off, but it'll be the same fishing trips. Yeah, the rain is, I mean, it's like a very light rain. It's a little more than a mist, but it's not heavy by any means. The one thing about this reel, this is that cheap combo I was saying about. Just gonna put my forceps back in the case here. That reel, when I was stringing, when I was putting a line on it, every now and then you'll get one that just doesn't feel quite right. And let me zip this up here quick. Just don't fall out of my pocket. But when you reel this, fucking junk in the road, all combobulated, but this reel, I'm noticing when you rotate the handle, obviously when you reel it in, it catches. Well, almost every revolution. It's a 5 to 2 to 1, I'm pretty sure is the ratio. Yeah. It's just double bearings. But it's been catching, like it'll tighten up when you reel it and it'll tight like you have a fish, but it's something mechanically or in the mechanics of the reel. So a lot of times, and it hasn't happened to me in a long time with cheap stuff, but I'm pretty sure I have a lemon. Now this will work. The only issue is when you would have like if you would catch a big fish on this, like I've caught plenty of 20+ inch smallmouth on little 4.6s like this over the years. The one I just retired, I've had for almost 20 years. And it was the same as this, a 4.6. It was just the older version of this. It was a gray Shakespeare Micro Elite rod and reel combo. Like I said, I had that for about 20 years, and I caught so many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fish on it. I landed 2 30-inch channel catfish out of Penns Creek on it, and the reel just finally gave up after I rebuilt it, bearings and stuff in it. I've had this happen a couple times, and when you get hangups like this where it feels like it's tightening up, that is one, it's either the bearings, they're just junk bearings, not greased from factory properly, or it's just a lemon, or it's the spindle inside this reel right here. So the spindle goes through all the way to this side, and this is where you tighten. This right here is where you tighten, your handle up. And there's you can see it kind of right there. That rod goes all the way through, and that spindle sometimes can be bent, and it can cause a wobble. And as I'm reeling, I'm noticing there's a slight wobble in this handle, and it is screwed on straight. So what I'm probably going to do, they have a nice Shimano, a decent Shimano. It's still a cheapie. I'm just blowing the water off my phone here. But they have a decent Shimano for 25 bucks. That's a 2000. It's an ultralight series down at Walmart. And I was going to buy it when I bought this, just to either put on here or to keep as a backup. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably take this reel off, pick up the Shimano, put that Shimano on this rod, because this rod is really, really nice. I mean, you can feel every little bump, every little bit of tension. Those two fish, those two smallies that I just caught, man, they felt like they were 20 plusers and they were 15, 16 inches. But yeah, that'll be really nice with that Shimano on here. I'm not a big Shimano person. You know, I like my Mitchells. I like my Penns. I like my Cast Kings. And I like my Shakespeares, but I'm not really opposed to anything. But, so, I think I'm going to put that Shimano on here maybe next week. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep fishing with this here old girl. I should call it an old girl. It's a new girl, but the way it reels and hangs up, it acts like it's 20 years old. But nonetheless, it's got two decent smallies under its belt so far. Two good smallies for Penns, actually. Of course, it's high. The water is high. It's a little fast. And they're going to be towards the bank, especially, you know, we're getting to that stage, pre-spawn, spawn. And no, don't target smallmouth. That's lame. If you can't catch smallies without targeting them during spawn and pre-spawn, you're just not that good of a fisherman, really, honestly. I'm no professional by any means, but I do know how to catch smallmouth, and just put more time in. If the only time you fish smallies is pre-spawn and spawn, you're not proving anything. I mean, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can come out here and catch them. I'm just fishing. I don't target really any time I go fishing around here do I target anything. I just fish. So we're gonna keep fishing with this here, limp it along here. Hopefully nothing giant latches on, because it's gonna be fun for sure, but I don't know if it's real handle it. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated. See you in a bit. All right, guys, we're back. It's been about 15 minutes since I talked to you last. Had a couple hits on the little microlight there on the rooster tail again. A couple nice bumps. Nothing would take. So I got the Shakespeare Ugly Stick Elite rod here out. It's my heavier rod. This is a 5.6, I believe, or 5.4. It's a little heavy. It's still an ultralight, but it's not a micro ultra. But I'm gonna try. Now this is not ideal conditions to try this. It's high. It's faster than normal. Well, I'm at the same spot, and there's a little turn here in the creek. It bends. I call this the elbow. It's about 50 degrees right on the nose, so it's kind of chilly. But on a normal day when the water is not so high, you can walk. It's dry land in about here, so you can see how high the creek is. So you can walk out where this log is, and you can really fish this. Now, I do have waders. I could have brought waders, and if I would have planned ahead to do this trip, I would have. This is just one of my spur of the moments. I'm going fishing trips. I'm down to the creek, quick trip, so I got my boots and shorts. So I'm not gonna wade today. A normal day, you could fish this here, and this is all rocks and current and back current. In through here, it comes down. There's like a little channel right in front of me. It's usually really good for smallmouth and trout and rock bass. What I'm gonna try is a Ned rig. Now this is just a, I don't know what for color they call this exactly. It's some for orange fire, I forget. It's a Z-Man with a mushroom. I think it's a 10th ounce mushroom jig head. Yeah, most people don't fish these with swivels. They just tie right to the hook on the swivel or a jig head. I'm gonna try it with a swivel since the water is higher and quicker today. And when you throw this out, it goes to the bottom like this. And that's, if you let it go to the bottom, it'll just sit there. So there's multiple ways you can jig it slow, to bring that up and let it fall. I'm probably going to do that method. I'm going to try to bounce it off the bottom method and just see what happens. Now, it's not ideal conditions for a Ned rig. The color of the Ned rig don't really matter. It's the swiftness. But this color mimics a crayfish, or if you're in the south, a crawfish. Up north, we call crawfish crayfish. Um, Marine picked up a little bit here. I'm gonna throw this out, see what happens. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? We're back. So I moved down a little bit. It's been about a half hour or so. Moved down maybe 10-15 yards. Fished just straight. I did catch a little trout, a little rainbow. He's about 7-8 inches, just a stocky. I didn't even get him on film because as soon as I got him in, I popped the hook out and he fell in the water. He was gone. So it counts. I caught him. I touched him. I got him unhooked. But I don't know, spastic trout, you know how they are. But yeah, I fished around here, and just not much doing in through here. And the water being high, I can't really get to where I want to fish normally. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk back out the trail here, go down towards the bridge, and then we're going to fish this side of the bridge over in here, right about where my rod tip is. So yeah, like I said, this is just a spur of the moment trip. I say I caught 3 nice fish, or 3 nice smallies and a trout. So not bad, but I'm gonna take you through here, and you can see, take you up to the trail. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. This looks a little easier to pass. I'm gonna walk in through this brush, but this is this Penns Creek. This will be, I guess, I call it the lower end of Penns, but it's really kind of the middle part of Penns Creek. Of course, it empties into the Susquehanna, if anybody's familiar with this area. And of course, it starts up around Penns Cave. If anybody's familiar with this area. Central PA, Susquehanna Valley. And you can see how much rain we've got. It hasn't really come down hard. The last 2 days, it's just been raining. Pretty light. It hasn't been heavy. But